Welcome, my name is Arlo and this is Elemental Idea. And today we're gonna be talking about House of the Dragon episode 8, The Queen Whoever Was. Okay. So this episode, before we talk about it, I told you guys I'm gonna do a live to watch this episode with you guys, but I'm glad that I didn't because the episode is not the best and I was a little bored and another stuff. Before we talk about anything else, this is gonna be a spoiler review. Be warned. From here now, I'm gonna be talking about what happened in the episode and what it is that is going to happen in season 3 and why I think everything is happening this way in this episode. So this is your spoiler warning. Spoilers. You ready? Let's go. This episode sucks balls. I'm completely disappointed by this episode. Acting wise, still top notch. Cinematography is beautiful. Production value. You see that they spend a lot of money, time, and effort into this. And even the writing is not bad. But it's too slow. And this is my main issue with this. That is too slow. And you spend a lot of time with characters just sinking stuff, and it gets boring. There is no other way to put it. The show has become boring. After episode 4 is just going down, and I was excited episode 7 because we got new writers and stuff, and in this episode nothing happened. All right, so let's talk about the episode a little bit. Because I don't want this video to make only about complaints. So the episode goes, we pick up with the Lannister, the guy who is the master of coin, and he's requesting the help of the pirates. He have a cool scene. He's hot in a beach, and the pirate says, "Yeah, we will help you if you give us the Dragon Lands, the Dragon Islands. Well, I don't remember the name. Couldn't care more less. So, yeah. And they said, yeah, we will do it, but there is one request. You have to convince our captain because the men follow this person only, and the person is a girl. So she's not impressed with the Lannister guy, and they have to fight. And they fight, and I'm gonna jump because they spread it into the episode, but what happened here is basically they fight in mud. He managed to land a hit on her, and she's happy with it. And then we left to assume that she wanted to be with him somehow. And at the end of the episode, or at the end of the arc of this little arc, what they happen is they're having dinner, and she says like, "I would like you to have your kids," and he says like, "Well," and then she says something like, "Well, I want you to impregnate my wives," and he's like, "How many wives do you have?" And they leave it over there. All right, this is all about girls in power. This I don't know what is happening here. I don't know how this show tried to make the point that all these girls are in power and at the same time they're not. So they basically what they're doing. And this episode is slow. It looks like a setup episode. It looks like an episode 2 from a show that you try to put together what is going to happen. It's boring. To me, it's a complete miss. Yeah, if you're been following the show, yeah, you have to finish it, but keep your expectations down, down, because nothing is gonna happen. All right, so we go back to Harrenhal. In Harrenhal, finally, Damon is have his army, and the guy who Rhaenyra sent talk to him and says like, what we need is a king, not a queen, whatever. And they led you to believe that he's thinking about this, but before that, the witch talk to him, and he put the hand on the one of the werewolf trees, and he have a vision, and this is the worst stuff, because what you see here is what happened in Game of Thrones, the awful show that they kill. And I don't know why these people is so hell-bent in reminding you that this is part of that. Is that was bad. Get it through your head. No one wanna remember that show. We were fine just having this one as a clean start, and you keep bringing that one up, and it's just annoying. Like, even it's too much. All right, so yeah, he see what is gonna happen with the Night King that is completely pointless, and Daenerys birthing dragons, and I don't know why this is important to him in a time that there's thousands of dragons around, apparently. But well, who knows? Meanwhile, Rhaenyra is having dinner with the new dragon riders, and two of them are kind of cool, and the last one is an asshole, this guy. Yeah, and he's basically a drunk in a bar, and he's just having time of his life, being a new rich guy. And she, in this moment, get a message from Harrenhal that is sent for the guardian of the keep, the guy who is living in Harrenhal. And he says, like, yeah, you should be worried. Aemon is raising an army here, and I think is ready to stage a coup on you. And she grabbed one of the dragon riders and fly to this island. And I was okay with the traveling in this show because they have dragons and they can fly to places, and we assume that Westeros is not too big, apparently. But they taken it a step too far. Now people walking will get into places in days, and it's just annoying. It break your disbelief in the show. Like, yeah, it's like the castles are points that you can see actually one castle from the another ones, and yeah, they're all in a walking distance apparently, and that's annoying. Sorry about the rant. This episode wasn't good. Deal with it. Okay, she flies to Daemon, and over there. By the way, we have a lot of shots with the dragons, and they're kind of cool. And I was watching this actually with someone, and she pointed out like why they park their dragons at the base of the stairs instead of on the top, so they cannot walk all the way up. That's all the money that is. I think that's it. It makes for a good shot. She coming up the stairs and the guy receiving her. And we get to the hall, and over there is the army, and everybody look at her, and no one is like, yeah. They can give her flying that one. That she's there. And in this moment, Daemon appears, and they start talking in Valyrian, and they have this conversation, and he reveals that while everybody's looking and saying, oh, this is the moment he's gonna say, like, yeah, this is now for you. No, he actually bend the knee, and everybody does win, because he says, yeah, I figured it out that what happened is that you are the chosen one, my brother chose you, and you are the one to do something because the Night King is coming 100 years in advance. Well, that's what they say. It's completely set up, and is just that. We also have Sir Colton and the High Tower, the brother Alicent, and he is smelling the little cloud that she give him, and the brother that is suspecting him stop at sword point, and they said, I should kill you here, and he said, well, yeah, I break my vows, I fuck your sister, she's not the queen anymore, I love her, and whatever, and pointless. I think they're trying to explain what is called is happening, and he's basically explaining he's a piece of And and the other guy is like, well, everybody's already grown, I guess. They make peace. And the other side, we also have the sea snake making some comments to his bastard son that you should be grateful for what is happening to you, and the man will be better if you talk to this way. And the guy like always is a stoic, and he said, yeah, I will take it into consideration. He's leaving, and the sea snake says like, hey man, I'm doing you a favor. And then the guy lost it and says like, yeah, you're doing me a favor, like, you know what is growing without a father, looking at my father just walking with his other son and being rich and happy, and I was poor and miserable. You're basically an asshole, and I will do my duty, but so they close that loop over there, and they actually at the end they sail to the blockade. All right, and by the way, they're wearing armor in the boats, and I think that's why they're gonna lose their life. Because in boats you don't wear full armor, at least no metallic armor, because it's gonna be way too heavy, and if you fall to the water, you're dead. But that's nitpicking right there, so it's not important. There is another the way they set up this episode is funny because it's like pieces. And probably I'm not telling you in the correct order, but I'm guessing you already watched this and it's just complaining about it. So Helena and Damon are he burned a city, right? And he actually was mad because he was afraid because he's no longer the bigger guy in town, right? He burned a city, he went back to King Landing, and he's trying to force Helena to ride her dragon, and she's refusing, and her mom Allison is intervening, and he have a little scene with her at night, and she says like, what if you ride the dragon, what you're gonna do the same to me you did to Aemon, you're gonna burn me. He says like, that's treason, that kind of talking, and she said, I saw because she have like visions. And she said, I saw you, like you burned him and let it fell to the floor, I guess, and be broken. And he is in shock, and that was it. That's all what happened with these two. There's basically the main antagonist, and it's nothing happening with him. All right, and they're just closing these little pieces because. They didn't have time in the 7 episodes before. I think they lost it. The writing was lazy in this episode. They're starting to finish stuff. If there were 2 more episodes, they will be fine, because now you know, like, now we're going to battle, so we need to this setup episode. But this is the last episode, and so they're actually watch a little bit of the end, when it's playing, when it's happening, and it's exactly what you think. They're saving everything supposedly for season 3, and I don't know. Well, I know they're gonna have a season 3, but I don't know if someone is gonna watch it, because this one was so slow, and the ratings are going down. Everybody's talking about it. So we get to what the director and I guess the writers think is important. It's a confrontation between Allison and Rhaenyra, right? Allison pick up, I don't know, a train, a portal, something, and appear and where Rhaenyra is. And they have a conversation, basically, I want to stop the war, I was mistaken. And then the other one is like, now so you're going to think about it. And this is all about these 2 women having basically a heart-to-heart and grasping with what happened. And finally Rhaenyra is like being like, I was right, you was wrong. And this is supposed to be this heavy and impressive conversation, but it's just dumb. And so that she said like, what I want now is everybody to be happy, and she said like, I was doing my husband's wishes, and then she said like, yeah, and then you went against it. So basically, Ramirez make Allison deal with the truth of what she did, right? And this is not as meaningful as I'm talking to you. It happens like two guys or two girls talking, and basically it's boring, like I told you before. There is a lot of stuff in this episode that is supposed to be like the meat of the crop, like the really important stuff, and it's just happening. It's boring because this won't happen, right? These people are already at war, and they're having these secret meetings. First was Ranetti, they went inside Kiss Landing, and we kinda, well, okay, she kinda pick up the sky, whatever. This one just came and entered. That was it. And then she left. Oh, and they cut this beautiful plan about when she said like, yeah, Damon is planning to attack, and he's gonna take the dragons and attack you, and says, and that moment you go to King's Landing to take the throne. I'm gonna open the doors basically, and no one have to die. And she said, that's what. Yeah, and what happened with Aemon? What happened with your son? What happened with? And she said like, well, we can go. He's a burn. No one will know he's in. And she said, you know, I have to kill him. You know, I have to display his head. I have to eliminate this. You know, I have to do that. And so basically, Allison says, oh, well, okay, kill the fucker. And yeah, this is the end of the episode. Everybody is looking into the distance and stuff. Like I told you, it looks like a setup episode. This show started like that, but was keeping a balance between action and the actual messaging they're doing about the girls. But I don't know if they're doing it well. Basically, they're just trying, like I told you, they try to make this all the women on the show like the victims and the power the rulers at the same time, and it's not working. You cannot be in the two positions at the same time. And basically, every single man in this show now is awful. They make stupid decisions. Well, it's just a complaint. I don't know. What I think about the future of the show, I don't know. Because since episode 3, people are not watching the show. Probably now that it's complete, people will give it a try. But I don't know, because episode 8 remember me so much about Game of Thrones, and it's almost the same spirit. They try to close stuff like they did in season 8 of Game of Thrones, like no coherence, just characters have to do this because I'm the writer and I say so, and the director and I say they can fly. And it gets, you see the hurry on it, and it's just not good. It's not a good episode. And as at the end of the season, episode is awful. It's completely awful, because you're left to wait for this big war, but you just don't care. You just don't care. Well, I don't care what is happening anymore. At the end, they give you a montage about what is everybody doing, and we find out the Otto Hightower, for some reason, is in prison. And that's the only stuff that I catch, like, what is happening here? That is the only stuff that intrigued me about season 3, but you have to wait a whole year for that. And like I told you, I don't know if people are gonna keep watching it. And these guys are, they have to stop, because they're doing another show, another prequel. They have to focus on the one they have, and that's it. I don't know why everybody now wants to do like big connecting universe and stuff. You can't even handle one correctly, and you're trying to do more than one. You already messed up with Game of Thrones, and House of Dragon was lifted, and give it a chance, and you're gonna do the same. It's the same game plan they did with Game of Thrones. They start talking about, oh, we're gonna do 5 shows about what happened before and all this stuff, and it's man, if the one you're having is going down a sewer, no one is gonna care about the other ones, right? So yeah, basically, this was a bad episode. I'm guessing you have to watch it if you wanna continue watching this, but it's gonna leave you with a feeling of vacuum, with the feeling that nothing happened really in this second season, right? Well, stuff happened, but nothing meaningful. It's a stretch out, and now I feel they're stretching out the story to points they're nonsensical, right? So yeah, those are my thoughts about it. If you like what you see, probably because you're here at the end of the video, give me a like, subscribe. It will really help me. And I'm really sad that this show is not. It should be at the top, and it's going every single episode is a little less and less and less. And it reminds me, they Hellbending reminded me about Game of Thrones. That's what they did. Start great, and at the middle was starting to decline. At the end, it was complete garbage. Let's hope they can pick it up the pace and move these writers to say this is enough about the conflict between all the girls in this show. We need like a little more action. We need like a little more political maneuvering, because this is not even political maneuvering. This is all about how people feels, and it gets boring. All right. So yeah, sorry about the rant. This was Elemental Idea. My name is Arlo, and if you want to see more, click here, here, or here. Yeah. Bye.